In a landmark decision, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled against Amgen and invalidated its patents on Repatha, a cholesterol-lowering drug that competes with Sanofi's Praluent. The ruling was unanimous and affirmed a lower court's decision that had found Amgen's patents to be invalid for lack of enablement. Enablement is a requirement under the Patent Act that mandates a patent applicant to describe the invention in such clear and exact terms that any person skilled in the art can make and use it. Amgen had claimed for itself the entire genus of antibodies that bind to specific amino acid residues on PCSK9, a protein that regulates cholesterol levels, and block PCSK9 from binding to LDL receptors, which are responsible for extracting cholesterol from the bloodstream. However, Amgen had only disclosed the amino acid sequences of 26 antibodies that perform these functions, and described 2 methods that scientists could use to make other antibodies. The Supreme Court rejected Amgen's arguments that its disclosure was sufficient to enable the full scope of its claimed invention. The court held that Amgen had failed to provide a roadmap for recreating the millions of possible antibodies that fall within its claims, and instead had left it to trial and error for others to discover them. The court also rejected Amgen's reliance on post-patent evidence of Sanofi's success in developing Praluent, an antibody that also binds to PCSK9 and blocks it from interacting with LDL receptors. The court said that such evidence cannot cure the deficiencies in Amgen's patent application at the time of filing. The ruling is a major victory for Sanofi and its partner Regeneron, who can continue to sell Praluent in the U.S. market without fear of infringement. It is also a significant setback for Amgen, who had sought to revive its patents and block its rival from selling a competing drug. More broadly, the ruling has important implications for the biopharmaceutical industry, as it clarifies the legal standard for patenting antibodies and other complex biological inventions. The Supreme Court's decision was based on the doctrine of enablement, which requires that a patent must enable a person skilled in the art to make and use the entire range of the invention without undue burden. The court found that Amgen's patents failed this test, because they claimed a broad genus of antibodies that could bind to a specific protein called PCSK9 and lower cholesterol levels, but they only disclosed a few examples of such antibodies and did not describe how to make others. The court agreed with Sanofi that this was not enough to enable the full scope of the invention, and that Amgen's patents were too vague and overbroad. The court said that Amgen's patents did not provide a clear guide for recreating the claimed innovation, and that they effectively tried to monopolize the entire field of PCSK9 inhibitors without disclosing how to make them. The court concluded that Amgen's patents were invalid for lack of enablement, and that Sanofi did not infringe them.